Hi, it's me, Psychic Emma, and welcome to another short video clip. I don't know what to call them. Stories by Psychic Emma. Okay, cool. So I thought today I would just mention a question that some people have had for me during readings in my personal life. What colors are around me and what do those colors mean? And so there's two layers to this. So it's called aura scanning when I do it, and I'll look what colors are around you and then I'll explain the meaning to you. But there's another layer to it. When you have a craving for a certain color in your life, it has the same meaning. So if I see a lot of gold in your energy field and you coincidentally have been drawn to gold, maybe you bought a bracelet or something, it's the same thing. On a subconscious level, you are feeling drawn to the color that is in your energy field, and that color is there to help us. So gold typically means abundance. And abundance doesn't always have everything to do with money. It could be that you ask the universe for more friends, or a better car, or a nice dinner out. You know, abundance could be anything that we crave or desire more of in order to pursue satisfaction and contentment. And just to clarify, if we are craving happiness as like a general broad term that we want to accomplish from our lives, it's going to be very disappointing, because what comes up must come down. And happiness is quite an extreme emotion to want to accomplish, and it is not sustainable. So I always suggest to people, maybe we should rather look at satisfaction and contentment. Because even if something goes wrong, it's easier to acknowledge, this thing has gone wrong, but I'm still satisfied with these other things. So it becomes easier for us to differentiate between different types of satisfaction, different types of contentment, separating those feelings from the not so great thing that is happening. Whereas if we ask for the umbrella term of happiness, and one little thing goes wrong, we will no longer feel happy. So just to make that little side note over there, just to help bring some clarity, because that is actually quite a major thing to take into consideration when we're asking the universe to create an abundance of a certain feeling. So yes, I mentioned gold. Gold has a lot to do with abundance, also with luck. The two are intertwined. For me personally, the reason why I started with gold is the golden being is the being that I work with when I help my clients, and also in my personal life. So I've got the gold necklace, the gold earrings. I have a lot of gold stuff. I had gold pillows made. I spray painted my bedside lamp gold. Just because it's what I want. It helps me to feel connected to the golden being. If I'm always seeing it around with my earrings and my necklace and all this sort of stuff, the more I see it, the more I'm like, hey, golden being, I see you. Thank you for helping me with my abundance. So it's like another example for me with the golden being was I asked for an abundance of friends. So this is something I'm quite passionate about in my personal life, is meeting people and making connections. I'm quite social and I love doing activities, and the sort of activities I love to do are so wide and varied. And inevitably, because of the interests and passions that I have, if I'm traveling or if I go on holiday, I'm often on my own. And if I want to go to a show, sometimes I end up going on my own, because people either don't have the same financial capacity that I have, or they don't have the same sort of free time that I have, or they can't manage to get time off work at the same time that I have time off work. So even though my social circles are really beautiful the way they are, there's just not everybody has the same freedoms that I have, because I'm self-employed. I can choose to take a long weekend whenever I feel like it, but most other people don't have that luxury. So then I decided, golden being, I would like to widen my circle of friends. So through widening my social circles, maybe I'll even meet more people to bring into my inner circle of my nearest and dearest. But the whole point was golden being, or golden energy, or gold. I want to expand my circles. And then what happened was I started going for dance classes. And it was like instant family, where everybody wants to hang out together. We're going away on a holiday together. I'm going to a show on the 4th of February, and like there's suddenly 14 of us from this dance school all going together. And because the word got out that I booked a table, and I was like, oh gosh, I wonder if I'll be sitting alone at the table. And then everybody was like, we want to join you. And I was like, thank you, golden being. This is exactly what I asked for, is I wanted to expand my social circles. And I understand that these people are circumstantial friends. Not all of these connections that I'm making will be long lasting if I were to leave the dance school. But that's not the point. I asked to expand my social circles. I told the golden energy that I would like to go to shows with people, that I would like to go away on a holiday with people. And the golden being, or the golden energy, met my needs. And it meant that I ended up going to dance classes, but the dance classes just kind of fell in my lap, and I was like, I've got nothing to lose. Why don't I just try it? Let me do it for a few months, and if I don't like it, I can stop, because an experiment is not a lifelong commitment. It's an experiment, and if it doesn't work, you let it go. And if I enjoy the outcome, well, then I'm so glad I listened to the opportunity that fell into my lap. So this is how these colors work for us. So just to give a bit more clarity, in my belief system, the colors are higher beings. So all the higher beings are resonating within a ray of light, and every ray of light is a different color. And within each color, there are many colors. So we don't just have one flat shade of blue. Basically, there's an entire rainbow of shades of blue. So for me, the type of gold that I'm very drawn to is actually this more bright yellowish gold. And that's for me. You might be drawn to a more dusty gold, or more bronze gold, or antique gold. It's the full rainbow within that spectrum, within that ray of light. And every single different shade of that color has a different meaning. So for me, the shade of gold is to do with abundance. What do you want more of? What are your needs? And are you open to and aware of the opportunities coming your way? If you ask him for more friends, and suddenly you see an advert on Facebook going, hey, try these dance classes. And you're like, I did ask for more friends. So maybe this is the universe going, hey, we're meeting your needs. So yes, so that is the meaning of gold for me. Then like another color that I always find very interesting. I saw it once. I was visiting some friends on a farming community. They grow their own vegetables and stuff. And then, everybody's got their houses or rooms that they live in. And I was in the kitchen of the main house, and I saw this young lady talking to her friend about something. I didn't know what they were talking about. I just walked in the room, and there were all these like emerald green bubbles in front of her head. And I was like, oh no, whatever she's talking about right now, it's not going to go well. And so I asked her, what are you talking about? And she goes, oh no, she wants to become a Hare Krishna monk, and she's going to go stay in the nunnery and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, so I saw emerald green in front of your head, and that implies idealism. So now she's one of those people, by the way, I have privacy filters in place. So a privacy filter means unless you ask me to look, I don't look. And if I meet you socially, I'm not looking. And if I'm living my normal life and every day, I don't look at anyone psychically. I believe in people's right to privacy, and out of respect, I don't look. And sometimes certain people give me permission to look. And even then I prefer not to, because I'm not always working and I'm not always in the mood to work. But sometimes, such in this scenario, this is a person who gave me permission to always look, and I choose most of the time not to. And occasionally I just can't help it. And I just see something and I'm like, oh, well, she did give me permission. So I didn't mean to look, but I saw it. So anyway, I explained to her, listen, I saw this emerald green in front of you, and it means idealism. So which basically means I think you are in love with the fantasy of whatever you guys were just discussing. And then she explained she wants to become a Hare Krishna nun. And I was like, would you consider not committing to being a nun, but going to stay in the nunnery for just a month? Follow their lifestyle, be really strict the way they're strict, only eat what they eat, only dress the way they dress and do what they do. Do not break the rules. Follow everything down to a T for 1 month. And if you still resonate, then you can commit. But don't give up your life and quit your job and like don't make entire life changes that are extremely dramatic. It could be very hard to come back from because you had a fantasy. Because in this case, based on the emerald green that I'm seeing in front of your head, it is a fantasy. And the reality is probably not going to be what you want, because I know you as a person, I know who you are, and that you're very artistic, you're studying art, and quite honestly, that lifestyle is not about art, and you will feel unsatisfied in the long run. So she eventually went for a few weeks, gave it a try, and it wasn't for her. So that's what emerald green means. Then a really lucky color to see in someone's energy field is bright yellow. And usually I see the bright yellow around someone's head. And I've seen it for myself when I'm brainstorming, if I happen to catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and then I see all the yellow energy, and I'm like, yes, this means something good is going to happen. Like whatever ideas are popping around in my head right now, this is obviously extremely inspired. So it's extremely inspired, creative thought processes. It often links in with gold energy. So a lot of the time when I see this bright yellow around someone's head, there will also be some golden sparkles, because the creative thought processes, which are inspiring and inspired, will lead to an abundance of whatever it is that you are making a game plan about, or, you know, brainstorming about. So that's what the yellow energy means. So if you find yourself being very drawn to yellow, buy yourself some sunflowers, buy that yellow hat, get a yellow piece of thread. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can tie a little yellow piece of thread around your wrist as a reminder that you're currently working with yellow energy. And yellow energy is inspired creative thought. If you find yourself in a situation where you are struggling to have inspired creative thought, I would suggest doing a lot of visualizations, meditations that draw down bright yellow energy into a bubble around your head. So that is how we can invoke the power of that ray of light, or if you prefer it in your belief system, you can call it a being of light, or a guardian angel, or a guide. You may call it whatever you want. Energy takes shape based on your belief system. So if you want to work with the yellow ray and you have decided that it's an angel with yellow wings, it will be that. And if that's what you see when you're visualizing or meditating, it is true, because these rays of light, they're energy, and energy follows the form that we create in our head. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to do these visualizations and these meditations with the different colors. You can imagine it however you want it to be. There are no rules. So follow your truth, follow your belief system. For me, I see it as rays of light. It's mists of color. So I say I'll see like this beautiful yellow mist around, or there'll be the green blobs, or there's like, for me, usually I'm enveloped by gold. So, but that's in my belief system. You be uniquely you, and you do what's right for you. So another color that I really enjoy seeing is leafy greens. So that will look like a person is surrounded by ivy, or lots of green vines, or leaves of trees, all different colors. And most of the time there'll be a sensation of the sun shining through the leaves. So it's that, we can almost call it like a lime green, but it is, it's different shades of green. So when we see these different shades of green, maybe you're going through a phase of your life where you're obsessed with staring at leaves. Like you're always looking in your garden at the greenery, and you're just like, I feel so much better now. Like, I don't know why, I'm just staring at leaves, and I feel calm, and I feel centered, I feel better, I feel like more content, like all the stuff that was making me feel so heavy, I feel like the load has been lifted. So depending on your belief system, we give these leafy greens different words. For mainstream Western society, this leafy green energy is known as Archangel Raphael, which is everything to do with healing. In my belief system, I choose not to gender or name or give form to the beings of light, or these rays of light, these beautiful mists of light. But that's the way I perceive it as a unique individual. You do what is right for you. So when we have that obsession with staring at the leafy greens, or maybe we buy a leafy green poster, or maybe I've changed the screensaver on my phone to pictures of leaves because that's just my current, I feel in my core I need to look at leaves. That's that energy we work with. It's healing, it's calming, it's grounding. It's helping us to, you know, when that saying, pull yourself back towards yourself, that's basically what the leafy greens are going to do for you if you're drawn to those greens. And there's different ways of grounding, by the way. If you're naturally drawn to those greens, if you naturally find yourself staring off into nature all the time at the greens specifically, it means that is your way of connecting, grounding, and finding healing with regards to whatever is going on in your life. And sometimes it can also have something to do with physical healing. When it comes to physical healing, some people seem to think that if I do a visualization a few times with this healing color, that I will be cured. And sometimes a physical condition is a physical condition and requires more than just spiritual work. It requires seeing a medical professional, or going to the health shop, or going to a psychiatrist, or going to the physio. We can't only be spiritual, because we are mind, body, and spirit. There's so much more going on than just our belief system. So remember to have a fully rounded experience, a full-bodied experience. Okay, I have seen a shade of pink that I quite love. It looks like, you know, those soft pinky peachy roses that you get. So keep in mind that rose energy. So this is one of the very few rays of light that I've actually named. And I called it Rose, simply because it looks like roses. I also gendered her, which is also unusual for me. So it's Rose, and it's female energy, because it does feel very female, because it is very soft and gentle, like the colors imply, very nurturing. So if you're feeling like those soft rosy colors, even if you're feeling like actual roses, this is the energy that you've been drawn to. It's nurturing, it's gentle, it's kind, and it helps with physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, mental intimacy. But physical intimacy could be going, I really need to just lie in the bath and just light some candles and listen to some music and burn some incense, and then we make all sorts of reasons or excuses not to. We don't make an actual date with ourselves to show that we value ourselves and that we love and care for ourselves. So this being, this ray of light that is roses, is just trying to help us to reconnect with nurturing, loving, kind energy. So if we are having intimacy issues with ourselves, with other people, with our body, with our mind, our spirit, this is the energy to draw in, just to help us to feel reconnected in whichever context it is that we are feeling disconnected from. Yes, orange. Okay, this is the last color I'm going to do. Orange is a very nice color. So you know when you see this bright oranges, like an actual orange. Again, it's one of those rays of light that I have been able to find in Western known society. In fact, most of these ones I do know what their correlating names are in Western known society, but not all of my clients follow the Western belief system. So if this is you, it's just a ray of light. Well, not just, it's a really awesome ray of light. But you may name it as you please. You may imagine it as you please. You know, it doesn't have to have a gender or a name or a form, but it can as well. So orange in Western known society is Archangel Ariel. And this is lion energy. This is fierce, it's protective, it's courageous, it's a courage color. And I remember chatting to this color once, and this was when I was first getting to know it. And so I often refer to these beings as they, them, or it, because, like I said earlier on, I prefer not to gender them. So I was asking this energy, how do you help me? What do you do? And it spoke about courage. And then it referred to terms or images that are within my frame of reference, because obviously they have to relate to us. They have to connect with us in a way that we understand, that is within our frame of reference. So they will use words that we know, images that we know, such as their physical appearance or their gender or whatever it is that makes you more comfortable, because their ultimate goal is to help us. And if you believe in aliens, they will appear as aliens. So Just keep that in mind. They will do whatever is needed for your highest good. And if that means they need to look like potatoes, then that is exactly what they're going to do. So the bright, bright, bright orange is about courage. And this ray of light told me that me and my army walk alongside you during this moment in time. We know you feel alone, but you are not. We are here with you. We know that not everybody can see or hear or feel us, but remember that we are there always by your side, and do whatever it is that you need to do in order to feel our presence. So if you need to get an orange thread, or buy an orange t-shirt, or get orange socks, or buy an orange blanket, whatever it is that you need to do in order to connect with this ray of light, that is what you need to do. Use your imagination. It can be a screensaver. It can be, you can go out and buy an orange light and screw that into your bedroom, so now the bedroom is full of orange light. So use your imagination, make things up, do whatever it is that you need in order to connect with these frequencies so that you can help yourself in your life. We empower ourselves. We are ultimately in charge of our realities, and it's up to us to do everything in our power to give us a better version that is close to the reality that we desire. And the ultimate aim is always for contentment and satisfaction, because that is what we can realistically aim for. Okay, it was lovely chatting. Look after yourself.